Take a good look at this man. In the NBA, he's Wardell Stephen Curry, better known as Steph Curry.
Steph, in close quarters, gets it back, three to tie.
To hoopers who live and breathe the game, he's Chef Curry.
That's how you're getting a tiny bit of separation. Oh, my goodness. Come on!
And to many others, he's the greatest point guard to ever grace the court.
Paul gathers it in. Clock at three. Curry, three. Oh!
But let me tell you something. And here's the question. If you were in France, do you know what the French would call him?
Allez, faut continuer à les voler les ballons. Et ce diable de Curry qui nous fait mal.
Chez Diablo du Curry. Chez Diablo du Curry. Pardon my French, but over in France, they call him the devil who hurts us. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Curry is now 36 years old. Draymond Green, he's right up there with Dylan Dynasty Brooks as one of the most hated players in the league. And Klay Thompson, well, he's wearing a Mavericks jersey now. But you know what? That doesn't change a thing. The 2025 Warriors are on their way. The devil they call Curry is coming. And when the dust settles at the end of the NBA season, there's only one prize, the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And once again, Golden State is coming for it.
Quick passing out. Booker goes down the baseline. Kicks it out to Curry. Again, makes space for himself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
When it comes to the 2025 Golden State Warriors, one burning question stands out.
Are the Warriors a playoff team, play-in team, or lottery team?
What type of team do you see them being this season? Are they championship contenders, a solid playoff team, a play-in hopeful, or headed for the lottery? Keep in mind, the Splash Brothers have morphed into the Splash Brother and Splash Buddy. Plus, they've added Mr. Do Something and the slowest player in the league. Well, according to former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas, once known as Agent Zero, the Warriors are destined for the lottery this season.
Lottery. They hit the lottery. Yes, sir. The lottery.
Dang, is it really over for Golden State? Is the dynasty finally coming to an end? Has Steph Curry reached his limit with just 4 rings? Well, not quite. While Arenas is undeniably an elite player, he's absolutely mistaken about the 2025 Warriors. There will come a day when Steph Curry can't win any more rings, when the Golden State dynasty finally ends, and when all hope fades. But that day is not today.
It's out here for Curry, who doesn't even need to look.
Some of you might think I'm crazy, overly optimistic, or maybe that I had a little too much caffeine this morning. But before you judge, check this out. This was my prediction video for the 2024 NBA playoffs, which was released before the playoffs even began. And guess what? I nailed it. I predicted a Celtics championship at the expense of the Mavericks. How many people out there, before the playoffs began, predicted a Celtics-Mavericks finals? And of those, how many called the Celtics victory? Exactly. Thank you. So, trust me when I say the 2025 Warriors have a real shot at winning it all, because the truth is, they do. I mean, isn't it quite obvious? They still have Steph Curry, who's in the middle of an unbelievable prime. Sure, he's 36, but this is the guy who just saved America. This is the man who upheld the honor of Team USA basketball, the hero who just stopped Thanos in his tracks.
Curry comes back and puts the US ahead. Wow!
LeBron might have spared America from embarrassment in the South Sudan and Germany game, but without Curry, they wouldn't have won gold. Just remember, when a team of superstars was looking lost and Team USA needed a hero, it was 36-year-old Steph Curry who stepped up and delivered. So if you're concerned about a 36-year-old Curry and whether he can still perform at an elite level and carry Golden State, just remember his words at the Olympics when he said, "Don't worry about me, don't worry about me." Anyway, if you thought Steph is the only reason the Warriors will be dangerous in 2025, think again.
Draymond, the naked handout. The lob to Kuminga!
As someone who lives and breathes basketball, when I'm not playing, I'm watching. And as a dedicated Warriors fan, I'm tracking every single Warrior. Well, except maybe this guy. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But seriously, I follow Kuminga because he's one of the most exciting young prospects the Warriors have. And from what I've seen, every single day this summer, the man's been putting in the work on the court. Every time I check my feed, the man's playing ball, looking better than ever. And it's no surprise. He's not a rookie anymore, not even a sophomore. He's heading into his 4th year in the NBA, which practically makes him a vet. He's made big strides every year in the league, evolving from just an athletic powerhouse to an athletic powerhouse who can shoot threes. And now, he's not only hitting those shots, but also starting to understand the game better and looking more comfortable out there. He's already jumped from 10 points to 16 points per game, and now, at 22, the age when LeBron started hitting his athletic prime, I'm predicting Kuminga to put up a stat line of around 24 points, 8 boards, and 4 assists per game.
Driving there, Duncan. Play was fading there, but Kuminga fouls it home.
But if you think that's all there is to Kuminga this year, think again. There's a special reason he's poised to be the X Factor this season. And that special reason is something called Psi Phenomenon. Ever heard of it? No worries. It's simple. It stands for the contract year phenomenon. I won't dive too deep into it. You can look up the studies yourself. But the gist is this. Statistically, athletes tend to perform at an exceptionally high level in the season leading up to their free agency eligibility. So, how does this tie into what I'm saying? Well, Jonathan Kuminga is heading into the final year of his contract before becoming a restricted free agent. This means, on top of his recent insane growth, we're likely going to see him go super this year. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking that the Warriors already messed up, that they blew it in free agency by not landing Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz.
Did the Warriors make the right decision not giving up Pods or Kuminga for Lauri Markkanen?
But here's what everyone's forgetting.
7 to shoot. Kawamura and company up by 6. He doesn't hit Markkanen.
Honestly, whenever I think of Lauri Markkanen these days, I can't help but remember the time a 5'7" player scored over him and eliminated Finland from the 2023 World Cup. All right, getting serious for a moment. Yes, a 7-foot center who could stretch the floor with threes and post up would likely have been a big help for the Warriors, but let's not lose sight of the big picture here, no pun intended. If the Warriors had landed Markkanen from the Utah Jazz, knowing Danny Ainge, the GM of that organization, the Warriors would have likely been fleeced in the deal. For those of y'all who don't know him, Danny Ainge is about as close as it gets to being a thief in the NBA. He's the kind of guy who'd trade you his dime for $1. I mean, just look at what he pulled off in the Kyrie trade back in 2017, or the Rudy Gobert trade in 2022. Do the Warriors really want to be added to Danny Ainge's list of highway robberies? I don't think so. But moving on here, at first glance, the Warriors roster might not seem impressive, but in reality, it's absolutely loaded. No matter how you look at it, the Warriors are set up for a deep playoff run and perhaps even a championship push. I mean, first of all, they've got Stephen Wardell Curry, aka the Devil who hurts France. Then at shooting guard, there's Brandon Podziemski, a fearless rookie who'd stand in front of a truck if he had to. At the 3, you've got the previously mentioned 4th-year Jonathan Kuminga entering his athletic prime and playing for a contract. At the 4, there's Draymond Green. When he's not going off the rails, he's still one of the smartest defenders in the game. And at the 5, they've got Trace Jackson-Davis, who was absolutely stellar last season. That is a pretty solid starting 5. It might not seem like much at first glance, with Steph being the only big name, but when it comes to fundamentals, this lineup is rock solid. Hold on, I ain't done yet, because this is where Golden State is going to absolutely destroy teams in 2025. Take a look at their bench. Backing up at point guard, they've got DeAnthony Melton, who was in the running for 6th Man of the Year not too long ago. Then there's Buddy Hield. He might not be a splash brother, but he's definitely a splash buddy who can get the job done. At the 3, they have Moses Moody. Another young, hungry, athletic veteran like Kuminga, also playing for a contract. At the 4, there's Kyle Anderson, the slowest guy in the league, but incredibly reliable. Coach Popovich once called him a pure basketball player. He's the kind of guy every team loves to have coming off the bench, someone who knows his role and plays it to perfection. And at the 5, Warriors recently drafted Quentin Post, a rookie fresh out of college, but here's the thing. He's a 4-year college veteran who averaged 17 and 8 while shooting over 40% from 3. A stretch center who can dominate the post and is entering his athletic prime. Sheesh, guys. That's a rock-solid backup 5. And I haven't even mentioned Gary Payton II, the young glove, or Kevon Looney, the rebounding machine. In fact, this roster is so stacked that everyone forgets about Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggins still there. Yeah, but he's my second option. Oh, shit. I forgot about Wiggins.
Honestly, this roster is so loaded that if the Warriors somehow added Jason Tatum, I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr would give him more DNPs. This Warriors roster has it all. A superstar, his enforcer, seasoned veterans, youthful talent, athleticism, size, a coach with 9 rings, and an owner who will do whatever it takes to win. Now, I know some of you still aren't convinced. You might say I'm dreaming, that there's no way the Warriors will get past Denver with Nikola Jokic, Minnesota with Anthony Edwards, the Mavericks with Luka, OKC with SGA, the Lakers with their referees, etc., etc., etc. Well, here's the cold, hard truth. Last season, even though the Warriors fell short in the play-in, they were only 5 wins away from securing the 4th seed in the West. If Draymond hadn't channeled his inner UFC fighter,
Field just picked up his 3rd foul, and now Green runs over.
And if the Warriors hadn't suffered a few gut-wrenching losses in the final seconds, like those against OKC,
Looking, Holmgren's got it, turns, fires, he hit it!
If those didn't happen, the Warriors would have been right there with the top teams. And while I love Klay, with the negativity surrounding him now gone, and Steph entering the final years of his career, I see the Warriors returning as a serious force. Underestimating them this season would be a huge mistake. And as Steph Curry said at the Olympics, don't worry about me, don't worry about me. We all saw how that turned out, didn't we?
Back to Curry. Lovely dribble, puts it up.
On a different note, the WNBA and the USA Women's Olympic Basketball Team are honestly a bit of a comedy show. They've contradicted themselves at every turn and completely blew one of the biggest opportunities that's ever come their way. If you're not exactly sure what I'm talking about, then check out this video where I break it all down for you.